ask questions, make comments, provide us your feedback, give direction to the board on things that you'd like to see them do or improvements you'd like to see them make. So if you'd like to come to the front, give your name and address for the clerk, and either provide your comment or question. Wow. Mr. Paget. Jamie knows Mr. Paget? All right.
My name's Ed Paget, South 57 West 22641, Woodside Court. I'd like to ask, why are you not opening on Thursday? There are people like me that do work, and that's very handy to be able to come in here. This town has always been very difficult to do business with because they had very short hours originally.
Would you like to field that, John?
Just the decision that we made.
That's not an answer.
That's a good reason.
It's a decision that who made? You made or the entire board?
I made it.
Okay. I'd like a logical reason why you made that decision then.
Haven't reviewed all of the hours yet. And I'm not gonna be here on Thursday evening.
So you got voted in, but you're not gonna do the job. Is that what you're telling me?
I didn't get voted in as clerk. I did not get voted in as clerk.
I'm sorry, but I believe that we should have office hours.
I believe we should too, we do. Just like every other surrounding community.
Yeah. I think it was a very good deal that they did, and I have to applaud them for it. Okay? I'd like to see them renewed. Thank you.
Just for clarification, the chair did not act as clerk that evening. There were clerk staff assigned. There were occasions certainly that the clerk staff was unavailable, and I did fill in that case. I can write a mean burning permit and hand out recycling bins with the best of them. But that was an opportunity that we had to have people come in the evenings. And so hopefully John will consider reinstating those hours. Other citizen comments?
Betty Paget, same address. What recourse does the town have to get back our evening hours? As a town citizen, as a town group? Because I can get a group together that will fill this room and not be happy about that decision. Mr. Merritt.
Well, when I spoke to the town clerk, she said that it was basically a ghost town from 4 to 6 o'clock in the town hall on Thursday evening.
I'll speak. I had approached John right after, because of the hours on Thursday evening till 6:30. We have one part-time person till 12:30. Assistant Aaron would be working till 6:30. It would be, and then myself, who's here from 7 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. I approached because with only having one, myself, basically being for backup, because Angie would step in, it would be very hard to accommodate on those hours if one of us were unable to come in. And I approached because the other municipalities did not have that opportunity. I've also stated to John that if in the past, I have always opened the doors at 7 a.m. If someone is not able to come in, they tap on the door. I open it knowing if they're going to be able to be there early in the morning. If they need to something, I have more than willingly stayed to accommodate for that person if it was after 4 or around there, because I understand that they definitely do work. But at the time, to staff the office correctly, it just would not be feasible, and with my hours, and I have family too to take care of and run around with kids and everything, it would be very hard to accommodate, because Angie did step in and was also the backup.
Do you have any idea of how many people come in on a Thursday night?
It's limited. I mean, it's very limited. It depends on the time of the year. I think that's probably, and part of it is getting people to know that we're open, you know, and during election time, I think people came later. Those that appreciated it did appreciate it. Did we have a huge amount of people? No. I mean, it was a good time to get quiet work done. You know, I had office hours during that time to allow people to come in at a set time. But part of it was simply offering the service so that it would be available. I understand the staff was not excited about it. They weren't excited about it when I initiated it 2.5 years ago. Erin, the clerk, has just been upgraded to 32 hours, so part of that increase in time was for her to staff those hours so that Jamie wouldn't have to. So I'm not sure that I understand what the limitation is at this point, but certainly we need to respect what the current leadership wishes to do.
So we have no recourse, is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. I think that Mr. Merrick obviously made this
Mr. Merrick,
decision.
are you
so-
saying the town will have no recourse other than to vote you out? Over office hours? I mean,
I don't think I'll be voted out over
People-
office hours.
people in the town expect the town to be open when they can come.
Like every other municipality around us will be open in similar hours.
So we will have one evening we can be open.
Like every other municipality out around us will be open similar hours.
John, just say it. They're not open, so you don't plan to be. Is that correct?
Like every other municipality.
Just can't just keep saying the same thing over and over. So we
What
don't
would you like me
even
to tell you?
I want you to tell me yes or no.
I'm telling you that we are open the exact same hours as the municipalities that are around us.
So I have to go and check all of them to find out what hours they have.
No, you can check our website, it's on the website.
All right? I'll do that.
John, what
Thank you.
hours do the other municipalities have? I think that's the question that
Yeah.
Mrs. Paget is asking.
Between 4 and 4:30 is when they close.
Between 4 and 4:30.
Some as early as 3.
So if you work 7 to 5, you're out of luck to visit the town hall Monday through Friday. And we're not open on Saturday or Sunday. Is that your consensus? The only recourse is to come to a town meeting and complain about it? That's not very nice. That's all I have to say. It's not very nice.
The hours were something that we initiated 2.5 years ago. A compromise may be to have the office open on the evenings that there are meetings. It's a little bit more confusing for people if you're not open every Thursday. But we're here at 5:30, 5:45 anyway, every other Thursday on the second and fourth Thursday of the month. And thought it would be good customer service to have our window open and allow people to do the business of the town during that time frame. I'm a firm believer that we're here for the constituents. We should be in service to those constituents. And I know there were times that we wanted to get information from the town. It was difficult to do that when you're open from 8:30 till 4. Jamie is wonderful about, being here early every day, but that's not her requirement, that's her desire. And so if she no longer wishes to do that, we don't have set office hours at 7 o'clock. So this, among many things, I'm sure will be a topic of discussion for the staff in the future. There are reasons for the things that were done. I would encourage the new board to fully vet why things were done before they make perhaps decisions that aren't in the best interest of the community. All right, other questions or comments?
Paul Katie, West 238, South 5320, Chestnut Trail, Waukesha, not Waukesha. I don't really have any questions or prepared comments for this evening. I would just like to express my wife and my appreciation for the 2.5 years that you've served as our town chairman. For so little money, to give so much of your time, and to display the level of integrity which you have displayed. You can't buy that kind of dedication, and yet we've received it. And I want you to know that from our standpoint, though we've not been active in town government, it's been very nice to have the assurance that though we weren't aware of all the details of what was going on down here, there was someone who was dedicated to the welfare of the constituents who was on the job. and was making many personal sacrifices to make sure that our welfare was looked after. And I just want you to know that there are those of us out here who appreciate that very much, Angie, so thank you for
My
that.
pleasure.
And I just trust that that same level of personal commitment and approachability and non-arrogance will continue. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Michael Durr. I'm at S51 W23661 Turner's Pike. The voters of this community made a very bold statement on April 2nd. With 2 of the 3 board positions contested that day, and the challengers were clearly aligned with incumbents, the voters of this community chose to vote both of those people out. It is time for each current member of this board, both new and existing, to be their own person and to avoid the alliances that will drive the board apart. Embrace this opportunity for a fresh start and avoid the ridiculous spectacle that the town board meetings have become. For the sake of this community, I truly do wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Other questions or comments?
Marlon Nemeth, West 252, South 4485, Meadowview Drive. I'd like to also comment, the previous speaker, one before him, Angie, for your last 2.5 years. Been a heck of a town supervisor, or town chairman. And we want to thank you, my wife and I. You've done a marvelous job. The new chairman, I wish you a lot of luck. You're on a trial period. If you start messing with my water in this town is made up of the people, not you. We elected you, I didn't elect you, some of them did. Less than 50% of the town people voted. So you have a 1-year time period to see what you can do. I want my water, and don't you give me that Milwaukee water. Thank you.
Questions or comments, please?
Wayne Krzyzanowski was 254 South 4360 Pin Oak Lane. Hope I can get through this. I'm a really emotional type of a person, but I also hate recall elections. And when Angie came in, I didn't like her. I didn't like the recall process. I believe if a person is voted in, give them an equal chance. Let's see how they pan out. When Angie came on and this water issue all of a sudden got hot, we didn't hear much about it before the previous boards, but Angie brought it up. When I came here, I had a perception that Angie and also Mike, because I wrote something about it, and it wound up in the Freeman, that they were going in the wrong direction. I wanted to keep the town of Waukesha the town of Waukesha. It bothered me so much, and I didn't know what to do. Just like an issue that these 2 fine folks came in and brought up. What I did that next morning, I took my bicycle out and I sat there and took a long ride on the bicycle, and I asked my God to help me. I didn't know how to respond. What I wound up doing was going home because all of a sudden I had an insight. I can do something as a person that's out here. And if there's something that bothers me immensely as that did, I could write a letter. I can make copies of that letter. I can take my bicycle and go and give each one of the people in their, alongside their mailboxes or whatever, what I perceived at these meetings, and that's exactly what I did. By the time I got through, I think I had like 140 letters that just went out to those constituents. That's the best I could do, but I did something. You can ask Angie, she got a lot of feedback from that. I didn't put my telephone number down because I hate answering the telephone. She can verify that. We laugh over it now. But that was my perception. So if you have something that you really don't like this board doing, do something yourself. If it takes something like that, write a little letter. Get out there and make it, known to people. You've got another resource. We've got Sandy that does things. My wife's reading his, is it Facebook or whatever? I don't like the computer, so I don't tune into that. But I find out about these things. We will find out what this town is doing. I would like to see the town remain the town. We start losing our water and property around here, we're gonna be in deep doo-doo. I don't care to have my taxes doubled. I like living in the town the way it is right now. And I really appreciate, after butting heads with Angie time and again, and learning a lot from her. If you were here at all of these meetings, and I was, when I made that commitment, I came almost every meeting and I listened and I learned a lot. Matter of fact, it was Mary and I that would be two lone people. Nobody else showed. But it was really interesting. And the continuity and you folks worked together for such a long time until this election came up. And I said, what in the world happened? You all of a sudden were looking at each other's negatives rather than looking at your positives. You had so much, but all I saw was destruction. So now we have a new board. I congratulate all of you. And Mr. Merrick, I wish you the best. I will be out here listening. This thing about the time on Thursday doesn't bother me. I'm not going to write a letter and pass it out to all of the people. But if there is an issue, I will let you know. I will let the people know to the best of my abilities and say, that's all I can do. So, Angie, thank you very much. It's really been nice knowing you in this position.
I'll see you in the gallery.
You betcha.
All right. Comments, questions? Comments and questions? Close. Last call? Okay. Town of Waukesha 172nd annual meeting date. It's proposed for Tuesday, April 15th, 2014 at 7 p.m. That would be the third Tuesday of April. That's the new statutory guideline. Is there someone in the audience who would like to make that motion? Mary Graves, is there a second? Mr. Paget? Good. Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. And we'll move on to the next item, which is set the date for the 2013 public hearing to present the proposed 2014 budget. The date proposed is Tuesday, November 12th, 2013. Who would like to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Ms. Wing. Is there a second? Is there a second? Betty? Thank you. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, and now we need a movement or a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn. I'll second.
Between Betty and Sandy. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I thank you all for coming. Wish you Godspeed. Yeah, I remember.
I would be the only one that. Same here.
Yeah.
Question anyway.
Oh, my pleasure, Wayne.
Yeah, it would say closed session if it was pre-recorded.
Oh,